Hey everyone, welcome. Yes, it's a little bit unusual. Sunday afternoon board repair. I just thought I'd get this out of the way before the new week starts. Although technically, depending on what calendar system you work on, this is the start of the new week. Anyway, so we've got this 1708. It's come in. It only takes 5 volts, 250 milliamp when you plug the USB-C in. It does not boot. Looks like it's been disassembled a couple of times before. That's not a problem. Let's have to get that out. It's actually been a while since I've done a 1708. Surprising how quickly time can slip past and you realise you haven't done something. We'll leave that in. Annoying that these two screws here are always different to the rest of the mainboard screws. I suppose they did that just to make sure you didn't mix them up. Think I'm done. Nope. How about now? Yep. We'll have a look at it first with the drive on. When you take the drive off, you always ruin that sticky adhesive there's, and you can't really get it back on. It's one of those weird do it once and it won't be sticky ever again type things. Hey Jim, I thought you'd be celebrating. It seems like I've got a bit of a stuffy nose at the moment. Interesting. Annoying, but interesting. Okay. It is a little unusual that it's 250 milliamp. You know, it's not your usual short circuit on your CD3215s. This has got a fair bit of junk and trash around it. So we could have a bad ISL. Or it could be something else. I don't very often get this sort of failure mode. Greg used to having fun with AliExpress and all the rest. I've started having fun because someone decided to make a PayPal claim a mere 3 hours after they purchased my software, because it was 4 o'clock in the morning and I hadn't responded. They were wondering where the board views and schematics were. They were not happy that I didn't respond quickly enough, and they've put in a dispute. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So how are people that impatient on a Saturday to be doing that? It's, I don't know. Anyway, I showed that yes, no less than 3 separate places on the purchase page that they do not come with board views and schematics, and they agree to blah. You know the story. Everyone knows the story. Okay, so that's fine. It's just frustrating when people are that bad at reading a website and that bad at ignoring all the signs, and then they have the audacity to be annoyed when you don't respond in less than 4 hours while you're asleep. At which point it almost becomes a matter of principle to ensure that you retain the money. Could also be this PI3 chip. Sometimes if that goes, but usually you only lose one port. This is just looking so dirty, that's the problem, that's what's bothering me. So it could be a dud CD3215, could be something else. Okay, that looks like that's actually been reworked. Just up here. It looks like that capacitor has flux around it. This one here. Yeah, that's fresh flux. So someone worked on this board, which now basically just makes it extra hard. And that's a crack in that cap, I swear. Ah, damn it, it's a hair. Kinda had hope that was a crack, but it was a hair. I'll just double check, just in case it's a miracle. Hey Peter, what it cost us? Yeah, it's a bit of a one-off cost us. Don't normally do this sort of thing. Check the fuses. That's good. That's good. It could also be like a bad thing. That there's been reworked. Man, this CD3215 has been reworked. I can see now that it's ever so slightly off. Okay, so we got a short circuit on this cap here, which means we should have it here too. God damn it. Oh wow, we don't. Okay, so we've got a short here. If that being the case, I'm going to guess they botched up the reflow on that, or the chip itself is damaged. We'll check the board view and schematic, and I think that's the LDO decoupling cap. So this is an 840 board. It's distinct from the 850 by the fact that, 875 by the fact that it has that PI3 chip on it. Okay, schematics. Okay, this one here. Alright, well, yeah, I sincerely doubt it's going to be that cap it fell. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the chip, so we're going to just pull that CD3215 off. And see what happens, see whether that short goes away. Basically my theory here is that they were chasing something and yeah, they didn't quite make it. I could well be wrong, but given that it's only shorted on that, kind of makes me feel like it's probably this chip. Like I said, could well be wrong, but at least if we take the chip off and it's still shorted, then we can chase it down with an infrared camera. It just doesn't feel like a good job on this, and the fact that they haven't cleaned this board is pretty unfortunate. Either that or all they did is they just reflowed it. Oh shit, man. Okay. I would say that this was liquid damaged, and they just squirted flux under it and reflowed it. They didn't actually replace it, because that is all just junk, and junk. It's probably going to be under there too. There's a lot of nastiness under there. Hey Christian, well, I'm not actually overly happy with GNOME. I would prefer my, I would much prefer to have my Fluxbox, but I am stuck with the situation as it is for now. Given that that didn't clean up as well as I had hoped when I just hit it with the flux thing, makes me think that that is actually the liquid damage that went over the board. Yeah. It's almost like this board really actually is one of the few cases where doing an ultrasonic clean may actually be the better option up front. We'll check that cap. Okay, pretty hard short still. Alright, that's not a good sign. We'll take the cap off just in case. Unlikely, but just in case. That's the CD3215 had to be removed anyway. It's likely damaged. Oh, it was that cap. Well, crap me, eh? I honestly wasn't expecting that. That's what I'll get for assuming the cap is okay and just pulling the chip off. Well, it's definitely one of those, if it is shorted, it's one of those caps that don't really show it. I mean, there's a little bit of corrosion on the edge, but that's not really significant. Nah, Jim, I think I've just got a clogged up nose, that's all. Yeah, well, that's definitely a piece of wire and not a cap. I think they just misidentified it when it was on the production line. At this point, yeah, I'm trying to decide whether I should, but yeah, they've dumped flux over everything here. It's just freaking moron repair people. They even resoldered the fuse by the looks of it. Okay, yeah, maybe I'm misreading what happened. I'm being unduly harsh here, but yeah, I'm sort of like not overly impressed with the state of the board, if nothing else, because it's not fresh liquid damage. This is liquid damage that was scrubbed away with a toothbrush by somebody and then reflowed. So they probably watched some Lewis Rossman videos and they thought they could be just like Lewis. Kind of like in Futurama, when the kid tries to be like Hermes, doing the what is it? The Olympic sport of going under the stick. Damn it, what's that called? Other way. It's like, I'm going to be just like Lewis. Yay! Back breaks. Yep. Futurama fans will know. Hey Steve. Computer busy, yeah, my noggin's all good. That's, well, some might dispute that, but no, it's all good. The limbo, thank you Colin, much appreciated. Knew somebody would get it. Back when Futurama writing was very good. Oh yeah, that's totally 100% new, factory fresh. God damn. This is why you never believe it on AliExpress or anywhere when they say totally new, factory fresh. It's like bullshit. Just be honest and say, yeah, refurbished. And we're perfectly happy with that. If anything, we'd actually probably sooner buy from you if you say refurbished on the grounds of the fact that you're being honest. But yeah, the Hermes Limbo Championship kid breaking his back, that was just beautiful. Okay, I'm a little offset to the left here. Hopefully it'll draw itself back. And the cap we need is a 10 microfarad 63402. Now those I definitely have a ton of. Ah damn it, I only wanted one, not two. I suppose we better put some... Oops. Damn it. Fume extractor kind of got in the way there. I need to put some fresh solder on those. That's not how you do it, Paul. That's how you do it. Alright. Slight chance it might start. Still not sure what the deal is with the 250 milliamp though. If that was shorted, I would have expected it to not have any current draw. Did you just solder the chip in the wrong orientation? I don't know. I didn't think so. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. Yeah, I think it might be upside down. Yep. It's upside down. It's supposed to be that way. I did indeed. There we go. That's what I get for talking to people. And that's also what I get for mocking people. This is why I very rarely mock people, because it's like I have a curse or something on me, or a rule set that basically ensures that should I ever do that, I will be immediately punished. And it's something that I've noticed is persistent in my life from a very young age. Then again, maybe it's a guilt thing. Maybe because I think, oh no, I'm guilty, I shouldn't be doing that, and then I associate any future, near-term future failures as retribution. This will be fun. Now, Lewis would have been laughing more if I hadn't have stopped. Sudi, how do you mean by English moment? Oh, this is so bad that they actually haven't cleared the... Oh wait, I'm mocking someone again. They haven't... This was an underfilled chip. You can tell by the remains of the underfill that is still there. Alright, we'll just have to get a stencil and some paste. Oof, paste could be fun. I haven't been keeping it in the fridge. I've got a couple of choices here. I've got a stencil that is actually, let's see how to say, thermally stable under temperature, and I've got a stencil but it doesn't match the chip exactly. However, I do have a stencil that matches exactly, but it's not thermally stable. I'm actually probably going to go for the thermally stable option. Yeah, that's this one. So this is a thermally stable square pin, square recess stencil, and I prefer to use this over the proper stencil because I can trust this one usually to not warp, jump and scream. Hey Mark Guzman, yeah, sorry it's not too common. The problem is that usually around this time of the day I'm dealing with customers coming in and going, so I kind of have to be away from the desk, or whenever I try to be near the desk it's going to just be a situation with me constantly getting up and going to the gate. Ah, come on man. The other thing I've got to do is yeah, normally I'm trying to decide whether I should dry out the paste or not. For these sort of jobs, it's kind of borderline. For things like SMCs, you really do want to dry out the paste because the holes in the stencil are quite deep. Yeah, the thickness of your paste is quite deep, so the behavior of the flux tends to cause a lot of dramas, you know, the bobbling out, things like that. Whereas with shallow stencil chips, like what you get on iPhones, it tends not to be such a problem. Anyway, we're going to dry it out. That should do it. It's actually still a little bit wet. And as you can see, it's way too much paste, but that's entirely normal. No, that was CT Chem Tools paste. Not very many circumstances, by the way, I just saw a question up there, where I would use I would bother harvesting a TriStar or a Tigris. Given that they're easily sort of obtained and cheap. Mind you, if it's one of the newer phones, I guess that sort of plays into it more. Okay, my stencil is now shifting and I've got freaking hot glue on my stencil. Tweezers. That top right corner did not get any paste. Or at least it doesn't seem like it did. Just up here. I could be wrong. I think I know why though. If it seems okay. Copa's finally starting to become tolerable. Like we're still in the high 30s, but it's tolerable. Okay, we actually have a bigger problem at the bottom left. So what we'll do is we will steal... Oh yeah, I can see it. Bottom left. Where's my surgical blade? Oh, it's got too much solder on it. Let's put the stencil straight back in. Clean off the plastic squeegee. Throw that back in. Oh yeah. Okay. Alright, and this I should now be able to transfer and put it the correct orientation on the board this time. Obviously that was all just a big trick to make sure you were watching. Evening end game. Now we'll put this onto the cooler. See how it goes. Kristen, yeah, mid-30s in Celsius. So tired. I did not enjoy waking up this morning to the PayPal dispute. I get around about 0.5%. That's about the claim rate. So for every 200 licenses sold, on average, I get a dispute, and it's always the same. There's no guarantee I'll win it, but so far, all the disputes that have come in have been resolved in my favour so far. I'm sure one day it's not going to. I won't look forward to that day because that's, you know, it's a fair bit of money. Alright, here we go. 5 volts. 20 volts. Yay! 500. Yeah, okay, that looks like it could well be booting. We'll stick it back into the... Yeah, Pedro, always with no board views and schematics, typically. It doesn't matter how many ways I try to document that fact. Like if you go to the... Well, I'll show you after I've done this, hey. Me can't put... Wow, I feel... It's like the daytime saps me. Like a vampire or something. So, there we go. Usually the biggest problem is people just getting overexcited, buying the software without, they observe it being used somewhere, they get excited thinking it's going to be the cure-all solution for whatever it is that they're dealing with. They buy it without reading the specifics of it, and then when they find that it doesn't just magically come up with the board views and schematics, that it's not as depicted or not as advertised. It's like it's not as you believed as it was by the however it is that you saw it, but on my website it is as advertised. The amount of drama that they put me through, honestly, in the end, they kind of get a free license because of the time they waste of mine. So you waste a couple of hours of my time, and there goes that whatever profit margin I was thinking of getting. Okay, we do have fan spin and everything, but we're not getting a screen at this point. We've definitely got... Oh, we had fan spin. Oh, we got a ball. Okay. We've got no display. Display is plugged in. Shite. We've got a... Damn it. Don't tell me we've also got a backlight failure. Wouldn't surprise me. Goddamn. Already this board's starting to become beyond economical. Alright. Let's bring out the gym screen. Plug in, you bastard. Oh. What the hell? Okay, it might be running very slow. In which case we've got a sensor fault somewhere. Because that really took a little bit too long. Where'd they go? Oh, God damn it, did it? Maybe the battery... Oh no, there. Okay, the battery is really weak. Alright. Still feels like I've got a sensor fault somewhere. Because that should have booted through very quickly. So we'll see how we go. Unfortunately, I can't see what the current rate is at the moment because there's only the two slots on the side here and I need one for the boot stick. And there's not enough room for me to stick the current meter. Well, those sensors seem fine. Okay, airport proximity and mainboard proximity. Okay. We'll see how it goes when the battery charges up a bit. I mean, at least it's booting, so that's a start. Hey, Lewis. How you going there? You in New Hampshire at the moment? Seems like you're enjoying life for a change. It's nice to see you out and about, walking through swamps, checking to see if there are trolls under bridges. Oh, speaking of Amtech, yeah, Amtech is actually RMAing my last batch. I sent them a message to say, it's not quite what I was expecting. When you said that the old formula is back and it should smell more like the old stuff and things like that. Well, I ordered a bunch, and then when it turned up, it just sort of smelled like the current stuff. So this is the one that they sent me. And, it's got the properly printed logo and the colouring and all that was pretty good. And I checked with Tim Herman as well, and apart from the smell, everything else seemed to match. But I got a message from them last night to say that they had checked through their manufacturing check sheets or whatever, and they found that there was a omission of something. So they're sending me another shipment of flux. So that's good because there's quite a few tubes I've got, and it's expensive. Anyway, so I'll get a new set of tubes. Well, I'm not sure what I'll do with those tubes, so maybe give them out for nothing. Don't go tell Lewis that I put the chip upside down. Jeez. What is this? Shame Paul Day? I'm sort of basically waiting for the... Oh, here we go. The battery just clicked up 1%, so it's getting there. The Wi-Fi is not showing up. Okay, Wi-Fi is fine. Let's check the keyboard. I haven't heard back from the person about that 1465 rather, that had the 2 dead keys in it. Okay. Ah, damn you. Space is good, right's good, left, up, down, okay. So, cat marks. Alright, keyboard's all good. That's funny, normally I test, but the gecko showed that up first. Okay. Fair babies are all doing good. We need to get busy building the property out a bit. We've got a couple of gazebos to put up. We've got a lot of things to build. I was very stuttery, that face cam, so I feel like something's slowing things down more than it should. I'm not quite sure what. Oh, I've already done the keyboard test. Clearly brain is not working today. The battery is charging. We're up to 1 now, and we're getting 50 frames per second on valleys, so that's definitely fine too. Yeah, I don't know what's quite going on there. Well, it's not too bad. Maybe I'm just getting used to 60 frames per second nowadays. Yeah, we're up to 2%. Yeah, it's good. Alright, well, I will do some further checking once I've booted into the system with the person's drive in it. But I think that the first thing we probably should do is actually ultrasonic this board, because it's in a pretty bad state. And I don't know what other junk is sitting under that other CD3215, because we saw the amount of junk that was under the first one. Hey, Jan Zimmy. Oh, good, thanks. So yeah, I think it's in a desperate need for a good clean. I just can't believe that the previous tech had basically scrubbed away the liquid damage and then tried to do a Lewis Rossmann flux and boil reflow sort of thing and called it good for the day. It's kind of interesting though, because I'm pretty sure they did replace that fuse, or maybe they just simply redid the fuse contacts. Like, sometimes maybe if the multimeter tips weren't working quite so well. Ach, nee man. Bachak. Either way, it was a bit of a dodgy previous job. In some ways, it would have been good if it was myself, then I could have berated myself, but this is going to be a technician unknown situation. Hey there, Q's. As this computer be running ultrasonic for console boards. Bought the P1200 because Lewis recommended, and you hate it because it doesn't actually. Oh well, that's your own fault then, isn't it, for not getting a big enough one? I ended up with a 22 litre or about 4 gallon ultrasonic tank because, well, that's the only way you can fit things like the 820 1700 boards. And then for the drying oven, well, that's 45 litre or 10 gallon roughly drying oven. So yeah, working on Mac boards now, you have to buy some fairly large equipment if you want to be able to do them all. Otherwise you'll be restricted to 13-inch older boards, and that's about it. Okay, we're just going to put this onto here. Actually, you know what? I generally find writing on this one's better. Spasm, 1222. See, any trouble with this particular board? It's hard to find a good place to write the number. That'll do. Fortunately, of course, I don't get too many 1708s currently, so it shouldn't be a big issue. Unless I accidentally get mixed up with old boards, donor boards, which is highly unlikely. Just remove the excess thermal paste because it mucks up the ultrasonic fluid. I mean, I don't know if it chemically does anything to the ultrasonic fluid, but it certainly makes it very murky very quickly. So getting rid of it just makes life easier. Means I don't have to waste as much money on new ultrasonic fluid all the time. Alright. I better clean that off too. And there might not be anything explicitly wrong with that CD3215, but given that it looked pretty terrible underneath, I think I'm happy enough to just keep it replaced. Gene, I dropped my phone on my touchpad. What's this? I dropped my phone on my touchpad 2019 16-inch. Repaired Max for a year now, iPhone 5 years. Wondering if it's hard to replace the touch bar. Oh, the touch bar. Oh yeah, that's no fun. Pedro's probably done that more than I have. Usually when it comes to touch bars, if the touch bar is broken, I replace the entire top deck. You can get the touch bars separately, but I've never bothered with that. I prefer to just tell the person, look, just get a whole new top deck and all good and fun. Because otherwise you're going to spend a long time gouging out the trash after you break out the old touch bar. So it's a matter of your time versus, it's just a case of, do you want to spend a few hours a day cleaning it up, or do you just want to get a whole new deck? And people are going to say, what do you say? It's like deck, D-C-K. Bunch of filthy teenagers. What next? What next? What next? Well, that's actually it for the current array of jobs. Actual proper jobs. As opposed to me stuffing around in the workshop. I suppose I could try and get back to doing those, that 8GB RAM upgrade. Where was that? The hilariously unfunny process of trying to reball these RAM chips. This is another example of time versus money. And since I'm sitting here trying to entertain people, I guess it's time for me. Crikey, everything's so big up close. This is probably not going to hold in there for long, but we'll try. We'll try. Crap. My... Ow. Clipped off some wick and it flew off into the Netherlands. Hey there, Wes. Yeah, fine. I just I just had to bend over in an unusual orientation. You mustn't. This is why you should rub things against the direction of weakness. That looks okay. There's one or two that haven't been wicked up, but overall it's okay. There's some actual nicks taken out there. They're not too bad, but that's interesting. I'm actually not even sure what caused those. Huh. Weird. Now, I'm trying to think which way of experimenting will I try this time. So many experimental options. It'll help if I can keep the damned hairs out of the whole thing. Oh, goodness sake. It just likes to be around. What? Oh, there they are. Upgrading for science. Yeah, upgrading for science. Okay, it seems we've got a gravity issue here. Yep, gravity issue. Big time. That's why I usually use IPA. Now what I'm hoping is that even after the IPA, I will have enough flux residing. But I think the balls might be too big. Yeah. And my finger is not helping. What? Why am I red? Yeah, it certainly doesn't work like the SMC does, that's for sure. Alright, fair enough. I was kind of seeing whether I could get away with it like I do with the SMC on a flatter surface, but it appears not to be the case again. I'll just dry out the IPA. Okay, that should be enough. But now I've got a contaminant in the form of ink. So I think I might be better off just starting again. We'll see, we'll see. I'll just push a little harder and see if there's any success in that. And if not, we'll reset. Nice thing about the IPA is it does capture. Like once I drop it in there, it captures it nicely, so that's a small mercy. Yeah, the shakes have kind of got me today. Not in a good way. I can't use the knife blade at this point because the knife blade relies on the difference of attraction between the electrostatic attraction versus the flux attraction. And right now the electrostatic attraction would be pretty much useless because of the liquid. That will soon go away. And then my problem is going to be that everything wants to fall out. And then my problem is going to be that I don't have enough flux to hold them all in when I lift up the stencil. So we keep racing back to the situation where ultimately it's saner, unless I get an actual reballing, a proper reballing kit for this particular chip, to manually do it. No, it's crazy, isn't it? There we go. Still got some unwanted gatherings up there. Oh, no, we've got 2 in one hole there. Yeah, SMCs, no problem. This stuff, maybe not. Greg, I used that about 2 nights ago or a night ago. Yeah, so it wasn't that long. I could try an extremely low temperature trick here. Low temperature, low air. I mean extremely low. Let's say we're talking about 10% air and 310. I probably could go 290, but I think this is running a little lower than, pardon me, than calibrated. Hey Richard T. Yeah, Copaz, the sort of thing I should do is have a robot. That's where I should be using my inherent toolmaker skills. There's a board game that we used to play as kids where I can't remember what it was, but it had sort of like a buckling piece of metal as a timeout thing. Where if the time runs out, it goes bang and just buckles out the metal and everything pops and goes crazy. Well, that's kind of like what I'm experiencing here. Waiting for the time to be wrong or me doing something wrong and then bang, it just bounces everything out. I really need some flux on here, but I'm kind of scared. As soon as I hit flux, it's going to change the temperature of this. Not to mention provide some contaminants. Like that freaking hair that won't go away. We got flux down, but now it's going to bubble and spit. I dare not touch that hair. It can just become part of the chip. Here comes the bubbling. Bubbling is actually proving useful in this instance. Okay, I've got 2 persistents. Okay, that one's good. This one needs... And we're good. Look at that, it didn't even melt the hair. That gives you an idea that the temperature was fairly low. That's pretty good. I was surprised. That certainly was quicker than manually reballing. I mean, yeah, doing it one by one. I think I got lucky. And just make sure everything's sitting down properly. I guess what we'll try is we'll try without that flux at the start. So we won't even bother with flux, we'll just have a clean chip, basically like I do with the SMCs. I might put in some corner balls as well, just to give the stencil some orientation. Lock. But, well, that worked out. I'm kind of surprised, to be honest. We've got 2 to go. Should have been happy with the 2. Okay, the 4 stencil holders are on. I guess we should clean this up a bit. Yep, not good enough. Alright, that holds them on at least. Hey Thomas, hey Tradie Trev. Alrighty, let's go for spillage again. And once again, we've got a downward trend on the stencil. I'm hoping that's enough. If it's not, then it's not, but I'm hoping it is. Well, it's close. Damn it. So I'm going to switch over to the knife blade. Because I haven't used flux on this one, hopefully the knife blade will do the trick for me. There's a hair in there. It's annoying as hell. God damn you. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna need a few more to fill in the gaps. Damn it. Probably looks like maybe 15 or so. You're starting to peeve me off. Well, there's obviously flux on that blade tip. Okay, let's try this again. Flippin', flickin', 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 frickety, frick, frick, frick. Ah, why is my knife blade so attractive? You want it to be marginally attractive. You want to be attractive enough that it gets you, captures you, but doesn't, not so attractive that it sort of develops stalkerism issues and won't let go. There goes that ball. You don't want stalker balls. And you also don't want to do that to your stencil, what I just did. Well, the previous incarnation was messier, Yeah, but you can see I've got the shakes a bit frustratingly bad today. I mean, it's not bad, but it's enough to inhibit this process. So yeah, I'm blaming the equipment being myself. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Please tell me we're done. Because that was the last one I had lying around. Whew. Okay, I see I've somehow or another got a double up. Shit, why'd the stencil go all funky on me now? Yeah, we got a problem. Far out. Matthew, the reason why I don't use paste in this situation is because exactly what you're seeing here, where the stencil will shift out of the way, and the gapping between the respective pads for paste are not sufficient to allow for an easy stencil removal after you've applied the paste and you do the pullback of the stencil. What will happen is instead you'll get a tearing of the edges of the paste and then a subsequent merging of the adjacent cells when you commence the reflow. So yeah, that's the technical reason why I'm using balls and not paste in this instance. I mean, yeah, you can make some kinds of paste, like, yeah, maybe I could try, but more often than not, because of the behavior of this stencil, it's yeah, going to be problematic more than it's not. No matter which option you choose, there's going to be problems. The question is, which problems do you want to deal with? And in my case, I'm choosing to deal with the problems that I'm dealing with here. I've done many years of using paste on other things, including my own manufacturing of things, and I've done slightly less years of using balls. And I'm just making a judgment call on this based on what I prefer to handle. With the respective bits of equipment that I have. Alright, I might actually sort that out as it is, and then come back and fill in the voids. What's frustrating here is, yeah, just these stencils, they are so, yeah, they have no rigidity to them. And I get it, yeah, they're not meant to be high temperature ones, but they're also real snowflakes at the same time. So I mean, I can accept some degree of like flexing of the stencil. That's fine. You know, we're using 0.35 rather than 0.25s. So we've got some leeway for lifting, like we're experiencing here. But yeah, that's why I actually prefer the configuration where I have the heater block underneath the chip. So I stencil it up, do what I've got here, but instead of using hot air on top, I've just got the heater block on the underneath. And that actually works pretty good. Trying to get to the point where the balls start to actually get that matte finish. Okay, we're getting there now. And that usually coincides, cough, 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 big maybe, usually coincides with the time when everything's hot enough that adding flux, I've fucked it up. That's okay. Yeah, it was a little bit cold. Now I'm in trouble. There goes some balls. Yeah, I should have waited for it to heat up a bit more. This is a disaster. Yeah, okay. Alright, my conclusion from this is that because I didn't put flux down initially, because I was kind of hoping I could get away with it, yeah, it makes it easy for the placement. The pads, due to the period of time that they were being heated without flux on them, have developed an oxidization enough to inhibit the balls from actually sticking. So it works well for the SMC situation, but I think I use a hotter degree of air with the SMC. So I'm just going to shuffle these around, see if I can come in with a bit more heat and see if I get lucky, but probably not. I'm basically just going to go for a speed run, as it were. They shouldn't fly anywhere though. But yeah, they're very disinclined to shift over to their respective pads. This should work. Bubbles! The reason why you can't load it up with flux initially is because if you do, as you warm it up, it will spit a lot of them out. And again, what would I know? I'm just making a disaster of this. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 left to find. 3. 2. 1 to go. Matthew Brella, yes, I agree with the idea of cutting them up so you've just got the individual stencil. That is actually a good idea, yeah. It does help. I guess it's sort of like, yeah, you sort of sit there and you're going, oh, I don't really want to cut up my stencils, but it's like you have to mount them in their own little frame. It appears we have one left. And it appears I have misplaced my roll of strip of solder. Okay. Just realised I need to turn on my ultrasonic tank so that it gets up to temperature. Yep. Who knows where that solder went? Guess we'll just get another strip. Q's only to 8 in this case. It's just an experiment. And I know plenty of people have done it before. I'm just doing it for my own experiment. Welcome back, Christian. Oh wow. Huh. Lucky placement. Just cleaning up the stencil. Ah, come on. Yeah, maybe I will cut it out for this. So if I just cut it out around about there, it might work. Experimentation. It's fun. I can't really. The metal is not. Yeah, that's not going to work. I might have to get my real tin snips. Not that I'm a fan of using those. They're just too big. If this doesn't work, I've got the Dremel. I probably actually will have to use the Dremel to get to the interior. Yeah, this is why I don't like using the tin snips, because it's got a serrative action on it. No, I'm gonna have to Dremel that cross section. Alright, just adds to the fun. Though I do need to wear some protectiveness. Might be able to re-engage with this option now. I wonder if we can do it that way. Yeah, we'll do it that way. It's not perfect, but yeah, it's actually not even remotely perfect. That's only going to give me 2 faces. Oh yeah, now we're cooking. Yeah, so basically, if I can line that up, yeah, should be good. It's got a bit of bendage required here. Should be good. Oh yeah. Finally, experimenting proves to be entertaining for me. I don't care about you guys, it's got to be entertaining for me. Don't do that. You lousy little son of a rat bag. Thought I'd get fancy and do more than one at once. But no, stupid idea. That's okay, we'll just lift the chip up. That's great. This is why having a perfectly flat, level surface is nice. Because then you have to deal with this BS. Just remember, it does take a little longer on this because I've got it with the heat block on there, and it just sucks up the heat, which is all very convenient for other situations, but not this one. Seriously, how are you not getting this? Okay. Yeah, Qs. I was looking at, I think it was the 1810 or the 18 something again last night. It's about 600 Australian dollars, which isn't too bad. That's shipped as well. Crikey, that's warm. Kind of tempted to cut that off. Yeah, I just had to cut it off. It was because it has a curl in it. Yeah, as you can see, it's already still, and the heat that's in the block is causing it to curl when I put it on. So like, it's the middle is the lowest point at the moment, but I think as time goes on, it will flip around anyway. Anyway, all right, we're at the point where we want to be. I think. I'm trying to decide whether I want to do the flux route or the no flux route. I guess we'll try the no flux route. The bubbling IPA is not the solution here. That's merely just from when I was hot airing it. Okay, that's a few too many, I will even admit. Downside here is that the flux runs away very quick. Oh, not the flux, the IPA. Yeah, this might not have been as smart as I thought. Now I've got too much. Oh, actually, not too bad there. I think I'll let it drain out and I'll work from that. Okay, I think we're good. This is why having those 4 locating corner ones at the start makes it easier. As you can see, this, it makes the stencil move around a bit when I grab the excess, but the nice thing is it doesn't really go anywhere because it's locked in by those 4 corner ones. Alright, they're all there. Hey, Shad. Okay. Let's do the switcheroo on the Hacko. I'm just going to leave like little blocks of butter on a Sunday roast chicken. That would help if those blocks of butters went onto the chicken and not just into the pan. Okay, there we go. We've got the flow started there. I can see that piece of junk there, I just don't want to bother moving. Okay, that's everything's got flux on it now. Hey, is Tim in here? Is Jim TCRS? No, he's not. No, that's Tim. Tim Herman that you're thinking of. Let's crank up the extraction here. Here they go. Looks like I gobbled up a ball somewhere. Oh yeah, I see those two merged up the top. That's okay. At least we know what's going on there. So we just have to remove that and put two fresh ones in. I have already turned off the heater. This is the painful part of using the heating block, is that you've got to wait forever for it to cool off. Now, since I almost completely ruined everything there, what I was going to say is, since most of the balls are in place now, I can actually, they're attached to the pads, I can actually use the hot air without everything jumping around. So I'll just quickly get this one to flow back in. So I think that's pretty already much locked in. And we've got to just get rid of that one there. Now the easiest way I know is to use a very fine piece of wick. And I do mean fine. So, that kind of fine. There we go. One gobbled up, double size. Remember, the heat has been removed from the block. I'm just going to heat that up and get it to sit down again. Now the only thing I'm worried about here is that when I moved that stencil while they were still... Okay, it's all good. I was worried that a couple of them might have been jammed underneath the above the stencil, but it seems like we're all good. And now we're just going to make sure everything gets central. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Oh, now you want to be all flat. How entirely normal. Alright, now we've got to find a victim board to actually put the new chips on. So we've got our 4 chips over here, and I need a victim. We're obviously not going to do that to a 3437. We're going to put it onto a 165. 1175. I'm trying to see if this was a 4 gig or a 1 gig. 8 gig. Okay, so this is a 1.64. And this is one that we repaired the other night. And so I'm going to replace it, the 4 gigs, and try and make it an 8. So the most frustrating part about this is that, you know, it's already a good working board, but I suppose that's what you've got to do. I hate the heating process in general. It always feels very destructive. But you got to do it. I'm just going to get the board up to temperature a bit. This does take a while. Damn it, with my glasses. The bottom heater would be better. Crap. Trouble is, my tweezers have suddenly decided that they are narrower than what the chip is. I'm trucked. Can't pick it up. There'll be some displacement issues here. But overall, it's not too bad. There's that cap, and that's about it, really. Okay, so now we have to, while it's still hot, get into it and clean up all those pads, prepare them for the next. Come on, hurry up. This board's getting cold. Oh, shit, a brick. I had the wrong... I thought I'd disconnected the hot block that we just used for the RAM. But it turns out I plugged it straight back in. So that's extra funny. And now the board's getting cold. This is just the lead-free slurp up phase. Yeah, I saw the bridge, don't worry. It's just the part where we take up the stuff that we don't want there, and then we go and wick it back up later. And before people start freaking out, yes, I know, I have to change the strapping to indicate the style and brand of RAM I've got going on here. Okay. I'm actually doing this reverse. I really should be doing it this way. Because this way the natural air flow will tend to warm up the board up ahead of me where I'm heading. Ow, now I'm burning myself. Yeah, it's all disasters we'll clean up in a bit. Good to see the hot air, the fume extractor's doing its job nicely. Shakes are starting to really tick me off, to be honest. Sorry to hear about that, Greg, I mean. Hopefully watching me fail miserably improves your sense. Okay. Alright, so they're all bottom left. Oh, jeez. How'd this get all messed up? I can see that there were some imperfect pads there, but I'm really not fretting it. Well, it's really a guessing game as to whether that's in place or not. We just have to play it. At least with the leaded solder, it should kind of go a little bit easier on me. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, I think. One down, 4 to go, three to go. Counting wasn't my strong thing. It's going to be extra funny if I put the wrong one down, as in I put down one of the old Samsung ones. At least with one down, I've got a guide on one of the axes of orientation. I'm happy with that. That's swimming. Another messed up fluxy one. Damn it. Shakes. Fucking shakes. Yeah, I see the ball, don't worry. It's close enough. Swimming. Oh, that was a big jump. That was bad. I sort of realised I was way off in the wrong direction a little bit too late. I'd already put down too much heat and it would have been stuck in one position, and if I tried to lift it up, it would have just ruined everything. So I basically I was beyond the point where I could do anything myself. I had to see if it could correct its own fault. Alright. Well, they do seem to be down, so that's a start. TCB Home, thank you very much for the pound. Oh, sorry, euro. My apologies, the euro. Alright, so these are our old ones. And basically, yeah, we just need to adjust the strapping on the board to indicate that we now have 8 gigs. So, see, U2300, we just, yeah, the keyboard is not here. Of course, I've got to find the strapping page. Let's see. Damn it. Okay, here we go. And here, this is the RAM config. So we want this one here. Strictly speaking, we could actually just look at the board that we took the 8 gigs from, which I can't remember which one it was now, and replicate it, but this will do it. So we got low, low, high, low. Okay, low, low, high, low. RAM config. So now we just got to go RAM, CFG. So basically the only high one is, the only high we have is number 2. So and then we've also got CPU DRAM SPD straps. Oh joy. What? DDR3. Okay, why is this different to what I was reading before? I mean, here's our RAM configs. No, the one I've just put on there is Epilad or whatever it is. So this one here should be high, oh, the rest of them should be low. So 1636. Oh boy, this will be fun. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I said, Elpida. I know I said Epilad or whatever, but yeah, Elpida is what I have. And that flux has become real sticky. Just gonna do a quad display. Okay, it's this here. Yep. Okay, so we currently don't have one on there. And I'm gonna guess, let's see, 35. Yep. So it's currently got 35 in there, which is that one there. So we're just gonna move that across. This one here, we're gonna move to here, and then we're gonna check the other two. Yeah, it could be wrong, but we'll see. Kind of hoping that all the other bits are the same, the other 2 bits, but we'll see. So 35 and 36, and now we need 1631. That's just off from that big block of these. Okay, so 1631 is not present, so that's a low, which is what we want. 1611 is just above you, and you are not present. Okay, so as far as I can tell, that at least to one configuration, that should be correct. Yeah, let us prepare to see how wrong we are. And also let's prepare for the fact that we might have just botched up the whole damn thing and ruined the board. Nice 165 board ruined. Fortunately, I think, Kristen, the rest of it should be sort of stand. We'll see. We'll see. 2012, 69, 2020. I don't know if this chassis is the damaged one or not though. Yeah, we'll find out. Oh. Fire truck me, there's no freaking keyboard flex there. Oh, here we go. That's actually kind of weird. Yeah, well, the reason why I was thinking it's kind of weird is I just realised I took something from a Samsung type. It had Samsung chips on it, so maybe there should have been more than just one bit to change. We'll find out very shortly, I presume. There's my boot ROM, sticky wiki. Not you. Where the hell did I put that USB boot stick that I just used for the Macbook, the 1708 before? Is it still attached to it? No, it can't be attached to it because I just realised I took that out. Oh, so freaking typical. The universe conspires to make sure that I can't boot this thing. I'm currently only using napkins because we ran out of paper towels at the local store for quite a while. So I was sort of in a situation where I had to use napkins. I do now have some paper rolls, so we'll revert to them once I've finished with the napkins. Oh, Sonny is here to bring his wonderful disposition to us all. Current looks right. We've got a bong. We've got a boot. Sonny, your understanding of the English language lacks a little bit, yes. That's bong, not dong. Bong is the thing that you get high on, remember? So when it bongs, you get high on endorphins. A long dong, on the other hand, makes you cry. Okay, it's complaining because I haven't got a battery in it, I think. Well, we don't know if it's a success yet. We've got to check to see if it actually reports 8 gigs. Alright, here we go. Moment of possible truth. It could say 4 gigs and means our strapping is wrong. It still says 4 gigs, okay, so we haven't finished our strapping changes. It still just thinks it's running on 4. But at least we know it's not dead. Am I ever going to mod Sunny? I don't think that's a wise idea. I think he's prone to outbursts and unpredictable moderation techniques. Alright, so we've got more strapping to sort out. You're big on free speech. I'm big on free boots too. Free bands, free booting. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. What is the difference between here? This is XDP MLB. Interesting. So XDP MLB. CPU DRAM. And this is the one we want here. So yeah, it should be high. Bloody what? Did I misread that before? High, low. What the hell? What was the other one I was reading? It looks like they did have a 16 gig option here, but I've never seen one myself. Oh, Greg, what were you telling me? You telling me I was one row up? What was I looking at? High. Well, the Samsung line is different too, because the Samsung line is low, high, low. The one I was looking at was all lows except for config 2. I think there's another one. Yeah, how did I end up reading the Hynix one instead of the Alpida one? Good God, someone needs to get some sleep around here. Okay, so it's all highs except for 3. That is bizarro. What the heck? I don't know how I managed to botch that one up, but anyway. So basically, yeah, all highs except 3. I'm really disappointed in myself. Oh, I know what's going on here. Now I know why there's 2 lines, okay? Because if you need it to go high, this is for the high, sending it high. But if you need to go low, that's what the second set is for. This here is for when you want to send it low, the other one's when you want to send it high. It's not a case of chip present, chip not present, right? Brain now understand. Oh dear God. Alright, so we actually need this one here. 2050 has to be present. Rightio, now it's all... I was blind before and now I see. Yeah, see, my fault there was I was assuming that resistor present was high, resistor absent was low. I was assuming that there was like an internal pull down or internal pull up, but it is not the case. So basically you actually have 8 separate configurations involved there. All good. All good. More coffee required. That would actually be very nice, yes. Okay, so 2050 has to be present. So this is the brave part, I think, of doing live streams. Knowing that you're going to get called out pretty hard when you truck things up. Okay, so that one there is actually present. That there is our R2050. So we do have that, and then I'm going to have to check all of them though, because they may have, you know, other aspects. 2051. Oh, great, right next to the CPU. Yay! Ah, shite's sake, underneath the CPU. Have to take our heatsink off. So, third from the cluster. So that one there. So that actually should be absent. I am going to try and hot solder this off as opposed to hot air. Worst case scenario, I go full Jessa Jones on it and flick it off. Hey, there we go. Naturally we left a short there though. Well, that's very unpretty right now. $20.52. It's the second one. Okay, so that one's got to go too, and that's already gone. 2053 is back on the other side of the board. And so that's got to go there as well. Now I realise that chances are, I bet you 2053 is right next to the one I do have to 1611. Yeah. Shift in. Yeah, like a 1611. I just got to shift that across. 1636 needs to be present. Or was that what I just did? Oh, I got it wrong. Whoops. Okay, that there is 1611. Damn it. Yep, someone needs coffee. Yeah, it felt wrong. I'm just gonna go back up and check some stuff. Zero, 1, 2, a high. Okay. $11.35. Okay, 35 is set. 36 is my last one. Oh, okay, right. No wonder I was confused. These both have to be set, so they're both... I need to get another 100k resistor. God damn it. 201. Steal it from another board. No. 201, 100k. The 100k value isn't even critical. It probably could be anything from 10k to 1 meg, in all honesty. But we'll find 100k. The reason why it's not super critical is because it's simply going to a digital I/O port, and it's just simply looking for pull up or pull down, as opposed to there being any real current flowing across it. Anyway, we have 100k, 201s. So I've got 2 of them there. Don't need that second one. Now, once I've got all these high values done, I've got to... actually, no, it should be good. I'll just go double check that the low value is also good again, since I'm doing such a shoddy job at the moment. So basically at this point, that resistor there and these two, they're our 3 high bit settings. God damn it, why didn't I put leaded solder down? Okay. I thought 1611 was... Well, 1611 already was 100k, I think, or is 2053... Oh yeah, god damn it. Man, I'm getting screwed over here with my incompetence. Still, it actually would have worked. Like I said, because it is just sampling whether it's a high or low voltage. It's not actually doing any The pin that it goes into is extremely high impedance, so there's really no net current being transferred. But thank you anyway, I appreciate that. I'm gonna put some leaded solder down there. Damn, that's annoying me. It's because I'm not filming at midnight, quite right. At this time of the day, normally, I'm just brainlessly doing iPhone repairs. Like screens and things like that. Oh, and customer support. Oh, I think we're done. Okay, Paz, fortunately I don't get too many PayPal claims. Like I said, it's around about 0.5% of purchases, so 1 every 200. But yeah, even the limited number that I do get, it is annoyingly taxing to deal with. Because you do have to go into a very pedantic mindset. You have to be very careful with what you write. You don't want to try and inflame the situation. You don't want to be... Yeah, you basically just want to stay very cold, straight forward, things like that. Because as soon as you start letting your emotions make you write certain things, you will probably then lose the claim. But believe me, it gets tempting. It's like you do want to write things like... There are things you want to write, but you don't. Yeah, let's try this again. Should be a little bit quicker because it does have the battery connected, though I don't know how much charge is in it. It's like 97% charge, so I'd say it's pretty full. Yes, we have 8 gigs of RAM, and it's 1600, whatever. Let's zoom in on that. So we have success. Thank goodness. Small victory. The only thing is, of course, it's going to play silly buggers, because with that serial number that's present, it will it'll go, hey, this serial number does not match 8 gigs. However, because the serial number on this board, the board has already been replaced, and the replacement board took the serial number. So what will happen is, if I use this board as a replacement for someone else's machine, I will then take their serial number, and their serial number should reflect that it is an 8GB machine. Either that, or it's just going to confuse Apple, and Apple's going to go, whatever. Alright, well, yeah, we don't have a fan installed, so we're not going to try run anything dramatic. I am going to go and get myself a coffee, because I deserve that. I fixed one machine that was actually a money maker, and then we wasted our time and money on upgrading a 165 to 8 gigs. Not sure if that was a wise thing. Anyway, that was fun to do. Bit of skill building, and it's done, and it worked, so I'm happy with that. Alright, okay, I'm out of here. I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. You'll take care of yourselves.